Let's talk about the chaos that is Welsh politics as the scandal hitting Plaid Cymru continues to escalate. All right, let's take a quick break from English politics and the SNP scandal. Let's talk about what's going on in Wales. We've been talking a lot about Mark Drakeford and the Welsh Labour government, but it's also good to every now and then focus on other parties, like the Welsh nationalist Plaid Cymru. Yes, the dear leader of Plaid Cymru, Adam Price, is in trouble again over the allegations of misconduct, bullying, harassment inside the heart of the party. But the problem here is not just the harassment issues and all the allegations. The problem is that the new report is now suggesting that the party leadership have been completely ignoring all the warning signs and all the suggestions and recommendations. But the mainstream media are not going to talk about any of these, do you guys? Because they probably think, well, it's Wales. We don't have to talk about that. And it's Plaid Cymru. But it does matter because these people have representatives in local areas. These people still have seats in parliament. And we have to talk about the political establishment. So, if you remember, in 2022, we talked about how one of the Senate members of Plaid Cymru was actually suspended following alleged breach of code of conduct. That was obviously one of the issues. There was an investigation and everything else that happened. But there were other issues around this. This was just one headline from November 2022. We even had other issues from the same year, saying discontent in Plaid Cymru at culture under Adam Price as the issues mount. So this was about the divisions inside the party that was growing at the time, and it's still growing because of the mishandling of complaints and toxic atmosphere and culture that's been created in that party. It's basically, it kind of reminds us of what's been going on with Labour, especially a few years ago when Jeremy Corbyn was party leader. Because the toxic culture that was created by Momentum leadership and Jeremy Corbyn was creating a very uncomfortable environment for normal, sensible, centre ground Labour members. There are a few of them who were left in the party. So they had to leave. Now, Plaid Cymru, I can easily see a situation where a lot of them will be leaving and joining the Welsh Labour Party, because the Welsh Labour Party, while not really that nationalist compared to Plaid Cymru, they are still socialists. So they could be the second home for these people. So it's important, for the sake of sanity and stability in the country, to hold Plaid Cymru to account, because the more of their members joining the Welsh Labour Party, then the more chaos is going to be created for ordinary Welsh people. Because they're going to be in government longer, and they're going to be creating more destructive policies that could hurt local communities. So, this report that recently came out is utterly damning of the party leadership and Adam Price, because it's making 82 recommendations, all of which the party leadership have accepted, apparently, and taken on board. In the summary of the report's findings, it actually says that no organization or workplace is immune from misconduct of this kind, but an environment where there is an inherent imbalance of power creates obvious vulnerabilities and concerns. This, coupled with inaction over many years from those with positions of power to challenge bad behavior, has made a bad situation even worse. Now, we might see some of these news articles in the more regional and local newspapers in Wales, but the fact that the likes of the BBC or Sky News are not really focusing on it to analyse it properly, to hold them to account, is a big problem in this country. Everything is London-centric. Everything is about what's happening in the Westminster bubble, and especially if it's against the political right. The media will be on top of it. But when the political left have a scandal, they usually turn the blind eye. But regardless of the size of the party, regardless of the size of the establishment or an entity, this channel will hold the power to account. With your support, we will continue to do that. It doesn't really matter about the party colour, about the size of the entity. We have to do it because one day they will be running the same agenda. They are already running the same agenda. They're all basically talking the same way, walking the same way. Everybody's having the same globalist agenda. So it doesn't really matter if Plaid Cymru is much smaller than the Welsh Labour Party, because they are still on the same boat. And we will be talking about them. Speaking of which, we are going to be talking about the local elections later tonight. We will be doing a live stream and live coverage of the local elections result. So stay tuned. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.